What's up, social media? Southside Bobby in the building, and today I would like to do a recap on like the year so far and how it has been. I'd like to say I prefer to just go along with what is planned, but at the same time, I don't mind replanning. And I'm at a pickle here to say, okay, this is the hurdle here, and this is how you deal with it. So it's like in me moving forward and my growth and in essence and saying in these views and things that I want from Instagram, social media. It's like this year I've leaned mostly on it, beginning of this year. And yeah, I guess it has been an entire roller coaster with it, and it has treated me fair or alright rather than fairly, you know what I mean? So ke rata dilo tse dingata within the entertainment space, but how you kopantsha kaofela e ba like one solid thing. And in essence, what I'm trying to say, I guess, is you build and you're given that time to build, and within that time to do so, essentially its value will show. There's gonna be a time where you won't need to even walk around saying, oh my gosh, ke a negative account, ke tlo ba teng ko nakong eo mo dilo tseo tse di ketsagalletse ke lo bona. And I'm saying this in confidence because I've seen other brands do so. I've seen other people, that I've personally surrounded myself with. I love talking about my youth when I was a child, to say when I was a teenager and how I got to this point. That's the biggest turning point, I would call it. And I say, when I moved to my grandmother's house and we lived next to so many businesses and local brands, and it's like, oh, okay, one after another. Now this is what business looks like in Mzansi. So you go to these workshops where these people actually come through and they communicate and they point of views and where they stand. And if you are a visionary by any chance, these are the certain elements that you should look forward to and look up to. And it's been an interesting journey to say, whoa, I've come this far with it. So at this point in my I think understanding, to say I understand a lot of things, and saying that, okay, the personalities are here now, with the work that I've been exposed to, especially right now in this year. I would say even in November, I think I went to a workshop at Soweto Theatre, and I had a question about IP, and they're like, no, it's coming up next year in 2024. I was like, oh, okay. The next social media job that I got, the next brief focused on IP and personality, and it's like SA is now at a narrative where IP is at, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm understanding what it is at this time right now, whereas when I started off, I never knew what it was. I never, but I was attending like sermons with women saying, I've got my IP and this is what I've done with it. They'll tell you that, my following, if I've got this much of followers and I go to this brand and I say I'm going to do A, B, and C, there's my salary. Because of this narrative and my IP, this is how far I've come and this is how I'm making it. You know how they say it and how they put it down, and they know who they're entertaining on the internet. That's how I came up on the gram. I knew who I was entertaining on the net. I did my thing, social media, shops outside, and it was like, okay, Southside Bobby just goes out, gets a wig, looks good on the net, snaps, and then boom, she makes a sale. I only had 3 likes, and comments that were like relevant. If this person is commenting on my stuff, surely in their budget I'm there. My name is next to some money over there, So it's like the internet for me I hit the ground like that, boom. And that was it. That's how social media networking came into my life. Just like, oh, okay, I have this app, but like, I really didn't find the use of it to go around telling the whole world that you're feeling like this. But then they're like, no, you do business. And it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Let me now participate. This is how you do it. And I went up on the internet and I used the internet like that. And then I bumped up my knowledge to say, oh, okay, now I must go back to financial literacy. No more Southside Barbie. There must be and when I say no more Southside Barbie, I'm not saying the character, personality, the persona and all that stuff changes and everything becomes different. No. I'm saying I must now get back to the books. You know what I mean? Do the reports and say, okay, how am I now being financially stable, and say my vision and how I chose to participate in my reasoning. The first essential reason was this. Okay, I'm not lying. I really wanted to do financial literacy so bad, and yeah, I'm at this point with it right now, and I'm learning. It's like, as an artist, are you like familiar with your dreams, or you familiar with the groove list, with the groovists, and you could be on the correct groovist list, or you could just be somebody who's just letting time be. And in 2019 then moved 2019 to 2020, I'll put that as one thing, and then from 2021 to 2022 is nourishing that. Just like my element of my life is now like groove and what else. Okay, so we go out, I groove for like, okay, lifestyle 2021. Okay, so now I'm like outside and I'm just like doing my thing, and I'm understanding the world of like eventing and space after COVID, and understanding these laws. You can't go out at a certain time, you can't come back at home, so you want to do music, and now there's restrictions because of COVID. And it's like, damn, it's crazy how you kept like going and just made it through all those obstacles, and just like one way or another. And yeah, it was one thing I learned. It was do or die. I had goals. I said I wanted to record my music in 2021. I did that. I said I wanted to shoot a documentary. 2021, I did that. I said I wanted to, build my hair brand and hair products and get like influencer content going on. I did that. And I also said that I wanted to, do my own wigs, and then do like, a hand crochet thing on the lace fronts, and do my own lace fronts. I did that. And then I'd also say I did look into my independence more, to say, woo, some things did spook me, to say, yo, we think about these things, but like, if I'm thinking about my realisticness in my life and where I put myself, this would be it. And that's the spook I gave back. It's essentially like, oh, you're more spooky, and nah, I'm not participating in that. So I gave the world that, and like, essentially, I think after that I still am the natural born leader that I am, into saying, okay, 2021, and I achieved these goals. And I say I'm a leader in saying I achieved my goals. Leaders do things they say they're going to do, but a great leader, of course, then is how they do it. You do it with integrity. That's the difference. I'm a giant to myself, and I'm a short person. So essentially it's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to need to do either way. You know what I mean? And after now I did that, and I understood where my narrative lays in the entertainment space, and I say in my demographic, to say in my affordability and my capability, this is how it came out. If I'm looking at it at this point of view, honestly, I mean, at this point, this is the way it came out, and I'm glad I did this and this and this. Yes, I had fallouts, but okay, fine. If I'm running this video back, I'll say this. If I look at me doing my music. I remember I even did my Fendi print nails. That was when I was like, yo, you need to get your shit together. I think it was in October. And then from there, I just did what I did. I had such a small amount of time just to make sure I make it end of that year. Okay, cool, fine. I move on into 2022 to say, okay, because the way I drafted my music and the way I wanted it to come out, I'll just carry on with the plan anyway. You know how Beyonce had her whole Lemonade come out like boom boom, you know? My boom boom happened the way it happened. You can't Beyonce it in a year, I guess. And she didn't, with Lemonade, it's like, it's more than just saying. If she says she's putting a year in it, she knows from which point she's coming from, and she has put in so much years in it already. That's why she can now gauge and give herself a full year, So it's also understanding that. I guess that's the thing. But you see now in your journey, follow the right celeb. I'm telling you, the real ones, we know them. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell into that. But 2022, I worked at a radio station, and that really gave me like a unique, monetization of my time. And I'll say my time because I really did volunteer and participate. Without that volunteering, I guess some things I wouldn't even know or be aware about. And it's like, oh, okay, this is where the world is at, and like Gen Zs and all that stuff. But it was a matter of time that, of course, I wouldn't even stay, for a longer period of time even there. But I think at this point in time in the industry, it will pay off to volunteer. I'm not gonna lie to you. It will definitely, from me coming from one volunteering station to another. So creating content for myself has exposed me to creating content for NGOs. When you're liable for certain prominent NGOs, then you will be able to get private customers who will say, okay, please cover me to do this and this and that. So it's creative how we can make our money in the industry, So I've been making my money that way. I'm going to run it back to the end of 2021 into 2022. 2022, I did put out my music, and I put out two covers. Well, one was a cover and one was internet beat. And essentially, these things spoke about the things that I was going to do next. So I put out the music first, and then I did my next, So I didn't necessarily put out the music and the content at the same time. I put out the music, and then I put out the content after, which focused more on the financial literacy and stuff, and then understanding my formula and saying with my fancy formula and my financial literacy formula, with my first song, the cover, right, Crocodile Teeth, it was such an emotional song and an emotional journey to create an experience and communicate and voice out my voice to the particular person I wrote it for. But anyway, I formulate first, and you analyze, and I'll say Crocodile Teeth is essentially that. And I did then Meet Me in the South Side, which covers the next 3 steps, with at the end of the day, we may have these emotions and we may have these responsibilities, but even though I'm out in the field like that, it's not really like that. You're just having fun, you're just being, wild, and young. That's it, and that's just with me and my element, and just about the hustle and the muscle and the bustle, and with the financial literacy and the cause, speak about the 50, 30, and 20 rule, and you just go and you go and you go and you just carry on with your goals, to say whatever the cause may be, and you're going as an artist in your career, have a structure, build your own structure or find an environment that suits you and your personal needs. It's all about that. At the end of the day, with these courses and these webinars, we learn that we want to create a structure for our families, the ones we love the most, the ones we care for, the ones, sheesh, I'll give you my last, even if, like, you know what I mean, if it means I must, then I will, type of energy. So you do that from the source of your heart, and then you watch your income develop, and that's what it is with financials. Essentially, you do it for the ones you love. I heard a lady share a story about saying, it would have been nice for her husband to experience all this wealth that their company has finally produced. They worked so hard together for it to be at this place, and of course it will stay there because of who she is and they love and their purpose. So essentially that's what it is: family, unity, and understanding your purpose and your relationship with money. I've learned that you don't necessarily need to have it all to be able to save up for a particular desire or aspiration. I believe in a narrative where I can say we can come together in communities to say, if there's 5 of us in the group, and maybe those 5 of us, we all now have one common dream to say, I would like to, shoot a documentary. And I say, okay, we will open up now a stock file to say, okay, within these 5 of us, say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, we've got 25K, let's make a film. And maybe even amongst us, you have a camera, you have a sound recording device, and there's a director and a writer amongst ourselves. Therefore now we have established a community, we to say, okay, this is a community of creatives. We come together, we meet, and in those groups we all say, guaranteed to say, we will contribute 2,500 rand, not even 5K. 5K is a lot in this economy for a creative. Woo! I'm not even gonna lie, they're not even trying to protect us with the copyright acts. They fooling and they clowning. That's what they're doing right now. But anyway, next thing we need to do is they say, okay, since now there's a group of 5 people and each of us have skills that when we bring together, these skills can manifest a product that can be sold like this. And if we each now put in like 2.5, then essentially amongst ourselves we really have like 12,500, and that could do something for somebody else. We come together, we shoot this thing, we move, then the next person shoots their thing, so now the director shoots their show, the producer shoots their thing, so everyone must have the thing that they shoot. And that's the goal that I've been having since 2021 all the way to 2022, and just trying to communicate that and push that. And I know how much it costs me now. It's probably gonna cost me like 10 bands to just get the right paperwork, just to get it off the ground. And I'm just like, whoa, where, how many wigs do I need to sell? But also, it's also like, sheesh, I can't sell wigs anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, I need to focus more on the course, because I feel like the more I focus on wigs and the selling and all that stuff, I'm forgetting the purpose and the journey here. Like, I'm just one person. That's just trying to get to one goal. And I feel like all these things that I carry, and it's like, it's a burden at some point. It really is. And I can't take it anymore. Like, it hurt me. It really did. To throw away my wigs and the stands and all that stuff, because it's like, yeah, why would I wear a wig if I'm not selling it? Why would I do that? That's the whole reason why I started wearing wigs, essentially. I'm just venting to you guys. That's the thing. That's the energy about, being with your goal. And I want to go on because it sounds like jealousy.